So let's quickly talk about Brittany Brown from the United States. She just booked her ticket to the Budapest World Championships this year in the 100-meter dash when she ran 10.90 seconds to finish second place behind sha'carri at the USA Championships. Now, to many, including myself, this might have been a surprise to see her making the team in the 100-meter dash. But for those who have been following her, this is not too much of a surprise, specifically considering what she's been doing over the past year since 2022 and leading into 2023. So let's talk about Brittany Brown. First off, even before 2022, we need to dive back to her time in the NCAA when she was kind of an overlooked athlete in general. She only made the NCAA finals on 2 occasions, and actually in the same year. In 2017, while competing for Iowa, she finished 5th place at the indoor 200-meter dash and 7th place outdoors in the 200. Those were the only times she ever made an NCAA final. Now, she did make the NCAA championships a couple times, but again, never made it into the finals. So for her highest finish to be a 5th place at the NCAA championships, I don't think she was on the radar of many people, if at all, coming out of NCAAs. But in 2018, after she had finished at the University of Iowa, she went on to the USA Championships and finished 5th place again there, but with a personal best of 22.42 seconds. Now, 2018 is not a world championship year, so definitely she was still not on many people's radars. And I don't think anyone was really checking for Brittany Brown at that moment, seeing if she was really going to make progress leading into, subsequent years, potentially making teams or anything like that. Again, she had only finished 5th place in the NCAAs and 5th place at USAs. Many people look at the top 3 or the top 2, whoever those may be, and those are the people who everyone considers to be team makers, medal makers, etc., etc. But Brittany Brown, she did not let up. Now, personally, the first time I was really put on notice about Brittany Brown was about 2019 in the indoor season. She had run 36.30 seconds indoors in Iowa, and that was one of the really, really strong times of that season. She then went on to win the USA Indoor Championships in 35.95 seconds. Now, there was no World Indoor Championships that year. The USA Championships had a 300 meters indoors. They were doing the off events. So it wasn't too notable, but 35.95 was one of the fastest times in history at that point. So again, really putting herself into the conversation. And again, that was the first time I had really been put on notice about Brittany Brown. And I'm sure it's very similar for a lot of other people. Well, 2019 proved to be an amazing year. She went on to finish 2nd place at the USA Outdoor Championships in the 200-meter dash, and more importantly, she went on to the Doha World Championships and finished 2nd place, winning the silver medal behind Dina Asher-Smith in a personal best of 22.22 seconds. This was really significant as this was actually the first time an American woman had ever gotten onto the podium at the World Championships in the 200 since 2011, when Carmelita Jeter and Allison Felix had finished silver and bronze at the Daegu World Championships. Now, Brittany Brown was really just getting started with her career at this point, despite already winning a silver medal. And I think a lot of people tried to downplay her silver medal, considering she wasn't a top name. And a lot of people, tried to say that people dropped out the 200 and didn't run it at Worlds. Regardless, she was a silver medalist. And again, she was going to prove much later that that was no fluke. Now, we did have the pandemic in 2020, and in 2021, she unfortunately wasn't able to make it onto the Olympic team in either the 100 or the 200. But 2022 would be a big year of change and a big breakout for her. First off, she changed her training situation and was now going to be coached by Boogie Johnson of the Hurdle Mechanic crew. That includes names like Dalilah Muhammad, Gianna Woodruff, Anna Cockrell, as well as other sprinters like Will London and Bryce Deadman and stuff like that. So she was really moving into a really great professional group. After that though, 2022 proved to be one of the greatest seasons, if not the greatest of her career. Within that year, she completely took off. 100-meter personal best to open up her year with 10.99 seconds, breaking that 11-second barrier. She also ran another personal best of 10.96 seconds at the USA Championships. And even more importantly, in her marquee event, she broke 22 seconds for the first time with 21.99 seconds. A huge, huge performance for her that really set her up for what was to come. Now, she didn't make the USA team to World Championships that year, but again, this was just a setup for what was to come in the subsequent years. Now in 2023, Brittany Brown continued with that momentum and did not stop. Already in the indoor season, a 60-meter personal best of 6.19 seconds, improving on a previous best of 6.3 seconds from some years back. Outdoors, she continued on, but with an actual low-key season. She didn't run too many 200 meters, but she did run a 400-meter personal best of 51.15 seconds.
I only been 2 meets. I had a 4 and then I had 2 meets. The training has been totally different. I was dealing with some injury, but I'm glad I can race again. I'm happy to be back on the track.
This was before USA's and leading into the USA Championships, and boded really well for what she was going to be able to do. She was in the conversation for the 200, she was in the conversation for the 100, and guess what? She delivered. In that 100 meters, she managed to run 10.90 seconds, again, getting the second place and booking her ticket to the World Championships.
Just basking in this moment. I made the team back in 2019 in the 200, so to come back in 2023 to make it in the 100, it feels good. I really started running the 100 really like last year, so the 200's always been my baby, but I just added a whole new baby. Now I got twins, and I'm a twin, so yeah, it feels good. I haven't ran this much this year due to injury and just kind of just taking care of myself. So to come back here and make the team and having like a completely different like setup coming into trials compared to like years ago, like it's crazy. But I think this build up to trials really just taught me to take care of myself outside of track, and all the other stuff will come through, and it did. So yeah.
Though she dropped out of the 200, she already knew that she was on the team, and this was her first time ever making the team in 100 meters. Think of all the names that were in the race. Sha'carri Richardson, Tamari Davis, Aaliyah Hobbs, right? All these other women had the eyes on them, while Brittany Brown was just slowly and surely making progress through the championships. She even equaled her personal best of 10.96 in the heats, so we knew that something nice was coming, and this was a culmination of it. Just to kind of reflect on what we're talking about, in the past year, since 2022, and when she moved to the hurdle mechanic crew, she managed to set personal bests in all of her top events: 60 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters. She was completely on a roll for the past year, and this was destined to happen. Now, what is going to happen when we get to the World Championships? Not exactly sure. There's so many women who are in the 100-meter dash right now, but it is a testament to Brittany Brown's consistency, her resilience, and her ability to perform when it counts for her to make this USA team in the 100-meter dash. I also really want to highlight the point I noted earlier. She only finished 5th place at the NCAA Championships and only made an NCAA final once in her career. We are so mesmerized by the top 3, the top 2, the winner at NCAAs, and we think they are on a path destined for greatness. But we do also have to make considerations for the athletes who finish 4th place, 5th place, even 7th place sometimes, right? They may be the stars waiting to just break out when they get put in the right situation, in the right coaching group, when they get the right training. Those may be the athletes who have breakouts a couple years later. And even the fact that she got a silver medal in Doha went overlooked by a lot of people because she didn't run a fast time, because a lot of people might have dropped out. Those things might have superseded what she actually did, but guess what? She proved that she was no fluke, that she came here to perform, and that she was going to be competing with the best in the world, and she was capable of competing with the best in the world. Brittany Brown is going to be a mainstay when we're talking about the sprints for the next couple years, and her making the team in the 100-meter dash here proves exactly that. Thanks for watching.